Hello, hello, and welcome to Women of the Future interview series, a project aimed at showcasing and celebrating the top female changemakers in Web3 and the Metaverse using emerging technologies as a force for good in the real world. This initiative aims to amplify the voices of these leaders and innovators to inspire future leaders and ensure that women not only get what they deserve and their seat at the table, but that they also get to drive the narrative. My name is 𝗺𝗺𝗲, and today I would like to introduce Beenish Saeed, award-winning speaker, author, and technology evangelist, and of course, Director of Operations at 𝗺𝗺𝗵𝗵𝗴. 𝗺𝗺𝗵𝗵𝗴 is a women-led global initiative that creates opportunities for girls and women through cutting-edge collaboration. Welcome, Beenish. It's such a pleasure to have you here, especially with these initiatives that you already support. Thank you so much for your time. Please say hello to the audience.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and a big hello to everybody. I'm really honored to be here, so thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. I'm so excited to connect with you and hear your involvement with this project. And these initiatives hit so close to home, I imagine. I know we've spoken earlier, and just your energy and what your mission is very a lot mission aligned with what this project is focused on. Can you please tell us a little bit about your journey into Web3 and working at 𝗺𝗺𝘵𝗵𝗴 to, representing and supporting a project like this?
Absolutely. Well, everything started back when I was in university, and I came across cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin when I was studying internet law and regulation. And I was super curious, and it was also quite liberating not having to read about cryptocurrencies through very heavy, very thick law textbooks and legislation books. So it was always a lot of fun and a bit liberating because we didn't have text like that. So I just had a lot of fun, just naturally, anything new that happens in the world, I want to learn about it, especially in the world of technology. So it was very, very fascinating. And then sometime later, I applied for further education, and I wrote a college essay about the future applications of Ethereum and the entire Ethereum ecosystem. That was a winning essay. I won scholarship, and I was able to do my master's in innovation and technology with the help of that. And so it was really, really amazing, knowing that some of those ideas were very well received by the scholarships committee, and it was just a beginning, And then some years later, here we are celebrating and coming across new applications of Ethereum specifically. So just last year, it gave me the idea that, wow, some of those ideas that I'd written about are actually getting validated, and we are seeing that in the world around us. So then I just decided to delve deeper into the world of Web3 and cryptocurrencies. And through that, I came across non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. And it was just something that didn't satisfy me at first, because I really wanted to understand why people are using NFTs, why they are buying them, what that spark is about with regards to this technology. And so that led me to an amazing new world of Web3, where I was able to network with so many brilliant creators, thinkers, innovators, artists, and business people. So that inspired me to, just get into this full time. And so I actually started my very first gig in the world of Web3 at 𝗺𝗺𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗺, which is founded by Nyla Hayes, who is a teenage artist, and she is a revolutionary in her own way. And so I started my first gig over there. And shortly afterwards, I was already working at a technology company full time. I was a technology author already, and I was exploring the idea of writing a book, which is sort of like a welcome letter to the world of Web3 and NFTs. So all this was happening, and I came across 𝗺𝗺𝘵𝗵𝗴𝗺. And so I spoke to Lisa Mayer, who is such an inspiration, someone who leads with brilliance and kindness. And we kept in touch, and I was a big supporter of 𝗺𝗺𝘵𝗵𝗴𝗺. I love their mission, everything that they do. And shortly afterwards, I came across a wonderful opportunity at Boss Beauties. I worked with Lisa to design my role, and I'm super passionate about designing processes, taking a test and learn approach to understand interoperability, creating systems, and setting up my coworkers for success through revenue operations. So that is how I took the role of director of operations at Boss Beauties. And the rest is history, as I'm seeing more and more women join Web3 and develop their skills and bring their other skills and, really succeed in the space. It's still a small fraction of us, but I have very, very good hopes about the future.
Yeah, I love this story. It's good to know that user story kind of along the way, this journey story that got you to this space. And I love the work that you do with Boss Beauties. Like it says, clearly you're here to support the women and make sure that they find the opportunities, that they have access to that. And so one of the questions I had for you was, this breaking of the glass ceiling, that mainstream adoption. And there's a lot of barriers, across multiple streams here. And one of them could be, making the space more equitable, making it more accessible to the women. What is your feedback on that? Any insights or just directions that you are already headed towards to help support some of these existing concerns?
Yes, I think those are all very valid concerns, and something that I already, as a Pakistani, for instance, I see happening around the world, that a lot of technology development, learning, and education sometimes just comes down to being privileged enough to have access to certain things. That includes having working electricity or having access to a great computer device that can really, show you what is happening on this information superhighway where you can learn about these things. And unfortunately, that is not available around the world. So we really, really need to start from the grassroots level and understand, this digital divide around the world, between the privileged and unprivileged countries, or even between men and women. And so we need to really get down to the basics, and so build a new generation of the internet that is available to these people. And for that, we need to improve infrastructure. We need to improve investment, and we need to just improve, how foreign relations even work in the world, between governments and all. They have to come to the table and really, understand how this works, because we have seen some very fiery debates against Web3 and the metaverse and these concepts from very well-known governments. So those are, some of the concerns that I see. And some other ways in which we can make this, more equitable, more accessible, is to make sure that we need to make sure that we don't turn this into another elitist club, which I have definitely observed in other spaces of technology. Almost everything is so elitist that you will have extremely talented employees, and they are not highlighted, their skills are not imparted efficiently to wider populations, because you never know when someone can inspire someone to create something world changing. And so we really need to identify and recognize and really, really spotlight people from all walks of life in this space, so that they feel recognized, but also they're able to inspire others to join in. Because without that, if this turns into another elitist club, then many, many, many populations out there will get discouraged from going ahead with their dreams and creating what could be life-changing products. So we have to understand everything on that basic level in order to create sustainable growth in this entire ecosystem, and really bring about great experiences that everybody, really talks about. Oh, the metaverse is going to be so amazing. Everyone's going to be able to build a business in there and create opportunities and whatnot. But those opportunities won't get created if people are not recognized and appreciated, besides the 1% or 0.1% who already have a ton of resources to build and who have already established so much credibility. So I think this is going to be life-changing for newcomers, and we just have to keep the cycle going. We need to see more and more new faces.
And there's a lot to unpack there. I love so many things that you mentioned, and creating, like, we visualize the future so easily, but we often get stuck and forget to work on the present and to do the groundwork. So from what I heard, there's just so much groundwork to do, from really doing education, from properly or rethinking the way that we support the people around us and the people creating. It's a different world that we live in now. And after the pandemic, things have just been so accelerated. And we hear that more and more. The attention is more on the people. And it's like we're kind of reactivating this human centric design kind of approach into the way that we build this Web3 strategy. Is there any advice that you can lend to women who may feel that there are so many barriers in the beginning, that they're still learning, and that every time they learn, it continues to evolve, or that maybe aren't getting the recognition? Any kind of supportive words that you can provide as they even maybe read this book that would help them in their journey?
Absolutely. My advice to women is, first of all, read this book. Absolutely read it, because there are going to be 100 or so women that you can learn from, and you can see that they all went through all kinds of challenges, and it took them, time, energy, even a whole village to get there. So don't feel discouraged, but look at them as inspiring examples. There's another advice that I love, and I have actually seen this work its magic in practice, which is try to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes on your own development every day. And I say 15 to 20 minutes because I understand sometimes it's even hard for me to take out 5 minutes to eat a meal. And I'm very bad at those things, and I'm learning myself, but it's very important to take a little bit of time every day. Even if you send one email every day to somebody about an opportunity, if you want to write something, if you want to speak for something, if you want to join a company, if you want to start your own venture, if you are looking for funds. But I feel like, drop by drop, we create oceans. And so it's really important that you invest the whole 365 days of a year into yourself. Put yourself first, invest some time, some efforts, learn. We will all fail, so learn from that. It's okay. Get up, do it again. If you reached out to 30 people on LinkedIn and only 2 responded, that's absolutely fine. The stats are still in your favor. Next time, just reach out to 40. Maybe 4 will respond, And so follow through on those conversations, because there are times when we talk to people and we don't follow through. And so you miss out on opportunities. But I feel like do all of that in order to break the barriers, in order to get to places, and take every single opportunity as a great opportunity and treat it like gold. Treat it in a way that, you are happy, and you know that this is just the beginning. It's very likely that maybe at your first try, you are not going to land that Forbes feature that you are looking for, even with many accolades and achievements. I know a lot of women who haven't been recognized by a publication, for instance. But hey, you can land an amazing speaking opportunity somewhere, or you can land another publication, or you can meet someone so amazing who can take you to a path that you had never even imagined. So my advice is, to keep your eyes open, stay on your toes, keep looking out for opportunities, and don't give up. Absolutely. We're not giving up. We're not here to give up. And, look for something positive in every conversation, in every opportunity, especially in the world of Web3, because I know everybody says this, we are early. Yes, we are early. We are covering 100 women in this book. Imagine that's 100 out of 3 billion or 4 billion on this planet. Think about the opportunities that are there. I know a lot of people who who were sad about not being able to speak, at VCon, for instance, which is an annual conference organized by Gary Vee. And then I'm thinking, all right, it's been 3 or 4 months since the last VCon happened, and people are now preparing for the next one. And I'm like, there you go. There's your next opportunity. It doesn't just end, there's always a next time. And in the Web3 space, it gets even better because it is very likely that the very first, very basic iterations may be forgotten at some point. So every new year, every new month is your opportunity to present something in Web3 in an even better way. So I'm talking about, like some of the apps that we see now, we'll forget about them in 5 years because we will have something even better. I mean, maybe we won't forget about them, but we will always know that, hey, here's a new and better one. The UX is better. Everything's better. For instance, Netscape Navigator. Nobody uses that because we have Google Chrome and Safari. Still remember it, but we value Google Chrome more, and that came later, right? So just because some people are in it now doesn't mean that your time will not come. So don't give up.
I love this message. I love this message so much. It brings so much clarity to kind of where we are now and where we can potentially go in the future. I'd love it if you'd be interested in sharing a particular memory that stands out, because you earlier talked about, taking the phone call, not giving up, and that one may be it, that one may be the phone call to do your first speaking engagement. That one may be the first time you get featured on this book, for example, a lot of women that were not expecting it. And so is there any particular memory for you that, since working in the Web3 space, that you'd like to share with the readers, or, this book and the audience, that could give them kind of a little bit of inspiration that it could be around the corner?
Absolutely. Well, I have met so many amazing people in this space, which is my biggest gift, I think, from in this space, meeting you, meeting all the women who are featured, and meeting so many other people, including men as well. I've met some amazing personalities, and maybe in a different world, it may not have been possible. Maybe, see, I live in Canada, and it's, a lot of the people I meet are in other parts of the world. So how could we have met in any other way? I don't know if there would have been any other way. So for me, my biggest gift from Web3 to me is really, the amazing people I've met. So a great memory that stands out is that evening, I believe in late July last year, when I had a really successful career already in technology. I was very happy. I was on track to becoming director at a tech company, and I was happy because I think it was just so great being an immigrant, making my mom proud, and also just also being one of the youngest people on the team in that capacity. Again, defying some traditions that, oh no, you don't always have to be a 40-something or 50-something to be a director or a VP. You can be in your 20s and you can be a VP, a director. But all those things were running through my mind, and I was so happy. And I was like, this is great. Life is amazing. Can't wait for the pandemic to be over so I can travel. And then just one evening, I came across, an NFT account on Twitter, and that just said, hey, join our Discord community. And I had downloaded and deleted Discord many times before. And so that day I downloaded it yet again, and I joined the community, and that was it. I think that just changed everything because I couldn't stop showing up. First, I was showing up every day. Then I started checking while working, and then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've made friends. And then I started to attend Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse events. Then I started to speak. People started to recognize me. They remembered my voice. They remembered my face. I had my own picture for the longest time set up until I joined Boss Beauties and changed it into my Boss Beauty photo. all that started to happen. I started to keep track of all the minting dates. I started to keep track of all the Ethereum updates and Solana and whatever's happening in the ecosystem, how different companies are joining. And I started to write notes. I started to read more about it. And the next thing you know, I've landed my first gig. I'm meeting absolutely incredible people. There are some celebrities responding to my words or acknowledging it, or, it was just incredible and magical, because here I am, a girl from Pakistan with a very, this mind of like, I'm going to work and I'm going to study this, I'm going to do this, and then boom, Web3 happens. And so I think for me that really is something that stands out, and a testament to always keep your eyes open. Anything can happen. You could be in a very comfortable position in life, but there could be something totally life changing on the other side. And so a few months later, I contemplated leaving that company and everything, and I did it. And I think at the time it was a risk as well, because the NFTs and these technologies were even newer, and there was no playbook. There still is no playbook on how to build a successful business in Web3. We are all testing and learning, and we're going about it, and some of us are even writing the earliest playbooks and rules. And me working in operations, I am really a part of building processes, not just for building businesses, but also sustaining them, setting your teams up for success in this new era of the internet. So all of that was so new to me. So it was a risk as well. But I just thought, hey, at least we are all in this together. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, I could do something else. As someone who always is open to things and always tries to have a plan, not sort of a plan B, but I do have my skills and my technology background and other things. So it was like, okay, if this doesn't work out, we can figure it out from here. But at least myself and my team at Boss Beauties and others in the industry are in this together, and we will figure it out. And it's been I think it's been an amazing 8 months so far, and here we are. So I think that one random evening in July, summer of 2021, just changed my life.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that story and your journey and along the way. It's just it's so incredibly inspiring how it can happen in like a snap of a moment and really like change course direct your life. And I experienced something very similar. I worked in like a job in an industry for about 10 years. And then I just like that spark lit in me the second I started to truly engage and then experience the Web3 community. And I felt a sense of community. I felt this new sense of purpose and creation. And it just like created this fire in me. And I also took a risk, and I left my cushy career and that I built up after so many years to kind of just restart. But it's exciting, and we have this pleasure of being early, and being able to define where this goes, which is what I love about meeting incredible women such as yourself. It's like it's truly inspirational. It helps you keep going, like you said, making sure that we don't stop there, and that the challenges will continue to come in front of us, but that we can have voices such as yours that we could hear along the way that remind us challenges exist. Just keep going, and your timing will come. So thank you so much, Beenish. It's been such a pleasure to connect with you. How can we find you? How could we connect with you and hear about all the amazing things that you're working on?
Thank you so much. And it's so inspiring to hear about your story as well, Elizabeth. The best ways to connect with me are through LinkedIn. You can always reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram. And yeah, I'm going to possibly launch a website as well in the near future. And just hit me up and ask me anything. any advice, anything like that. And I'm always available to help, especially women and girls, and especially immigrants, So always here and always a pleasure. And this book is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And it's only the first one, because here's a little bit of alpha in true NFT or Web3 fashion. There will be more, right? There will be more editions to be more inclusive in the world. Because like I said, there are 3 to 4 billion of us, and there's going to be something for everyone to either be featured or be inspired by. So I'm really excited.
I love it. I love the alpha. Thank you so much, Beenish. It's been such a pleasure. I hope to stay connected with you and to continue to hear about all the amazing things that you are doing and will continue to do. Thank you so much.